Okay then, so we're going to have a go in this one at explaining the difference between a simple and compound time signature, and then also the introduction to what beaming is. I'll come to beaming later on. So first of all, simple time signatures. These are really common time signatures, particularly the ones that you can see here, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4. These are the ones that you learn really early on when you're a musician. A simple time signature means that the basic beat, in the case of 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, which is one crotchet beat, simple time signatures subdivide that main beat into two equal halves. So the one crotchet divides into two quavers. Next thing to remember is that the top number of a simple time signature refers to the number of the beats in a bar. So in 2/4 there are 2 beats in the bar. The bottom number refers to which rhythm is the beat type. This is slightly more confusing because this challenges the traditional notion that the idea that a crotchet always equals 1. Crotchets only equal 1 if the bottom number of the time signature is a 4. So in 2, 4, 3, 4 and 4, 4, crotchet equals 1. Okay, so that means 4, 4, 4 crotchet beats in the bar, and each crotchet is worth 1 beat. Now, what about 2, 2, 3, 2 and 4, 2? Well, in 2, 2, 3, 2 and 4, 2, the bottom number, number 2, refers to the fact that in those time signatures, a minim beat is worth 1. That means in 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, the crotchet beat is only worth a half. And that must mean a semibreve is worth 2 beats. And so all of the note values change in their value relative to what the bottom number is. So in 2, 2 there are 2 minim beats in a bar. Minim equals 1, crotchet equals half, semibreve equals 2. Finally, much less common are 2, 8, 3, 8 and 4, 8. And in fact, in your theory, the only ones you'll really come across is 3, 8. 2, 8 and 4, 8 are extremely rare. You don't see them very often at all. Only in quite modern sort of like classical music are they ever used. But 3, 8 is relatively common. And in 3, 8, you get a quaver beat represents 1 beat in the bar. That must mean a crotchet's worth 2 beats and a semiquaver is worth a half beat. So slightly confusing there. Finally, we describe time signatures using a little terminology as well. So I keep referring to these as simple time signatures. I used the term simple and explained at the start that a simple time signature means the beat subdivides into 2 equal halves. But then you can also call a time signature duple, triple, quadruple. So there you go. So for instance, if you said, can you give me an example of a simple time signature in which crotchet is the beat and there are 3 beats in the bar? The answer would be yes, it's 3, 4. Simple time signature, crotchet is the beat, 3 beats in the bar, triple. If I wanted one more example, a minim beat in the bar, 4 beats in the bar. So you then say simple quadruple over here, and that would be 4, 2, 4 minim beats in the bar. So those are your simple time signatures. Now, compound time signatures. First thing you notice here is that this already looks a lot more complicated. I'm afraid it is a little bit more complicated. You've got to be patient with this, and it might be that watching this video for the first time to try and understand compound time signatures, I'll be honest with you, I'd be really impressed if it goes in straight away first time and you don't make any mistakes with these. It takes quite a while to get your head around compound time signatures. Be patient, don't rush it, just try and understand it, listen to the video more than once, go over it a few times. Now, there are a similar layout of time signatures to the simple ones. So there are 3 sort of different beat types. The most common one by far is something 8. Now, 6, 8, 9, 8 and 12, 8 are all compound time signatures. So what makes a compound time signature compound? Well, what makes it compound is that the top number of the time signature doesn't tell you the number of beats in the bar, which is really confusing, but it tells you the number of subdivisions of beats. So in 6, 8, there aren't 6 beats in the bar, there are 6 subdivisions in the bar. In 9, 8, there aren't 9 beats in the bar, there are 9 subdivisions or 9 splits of the beat in the bar. And the same in 12, 8, there aren't 12 beats, there are 12 splits or subdivisions. What you'll also notice is in the compound time signature, the subdivisions are grouped in 3s and not in 2s. Okay? So that means, as I was saying before, 6/8 has 6 quavers in it, but these are the subdivisions. The actual number of beats is 2, and a dotted crotchet is worth 1 in 6/8. That means a crotchet is worth 2/3 and a quaver is worth 1/3. Oh, yeah, okay, I know, that's a little bit confusing, but you'll get there with it. Same in 9/8 and 12/8. The beat type in 6/8, 9/8, 12/8 is a dotted crotchet. A dotted crotchet equals 1. It does not equal 1.5 in these time signatures, like you would assume it did if you were in something like 4/4. So you have to check the time signature carefully before you start assuming how long a note is or what a note is worth. In 6/4, same idea. The crotchets here, 6 crotchets in the bar, that seems to say, but the crotchets are not the beats, they're the subdivisions. Again, you group them in 3s, so that means in 6/4, a dotted minim is worth 1. That looks like a very long note to be worth 1 beat in a bar, but it's quite a common time signature. It does happen more often than you think. 9/4, there are 3 dotted minims in the bar. Each dotted minim is worth 1. And then 12/4, there are 4 dotted minims in the bar. Okay, so that's 6/4, 9/4, 12/4. Now down the bottom here, these look even stranger, but they are relatively common. They're more common than 2/4 and they're more common than 2/8 and 4/8 that we were talking about previously. 6/16. There are 6 semiquaver subdivisions in the bar. 6 semiquaver subdivisions in the bar, and that means that a dotted quaver is worth 1 beat, and that looks like a very strange note value to be worth 1, but it is. Dotted quaver is worth 1. Same in 9/16, 3 dotted quavers in the bar, and in 12/16, 4 dotted quavers in the bar. So they are pretty complicated. As you're doing your theory, you'll find that at grade 3 level, you're going to come across the 6/8, 9/8 and 12/8. 6/4 and the 6/16s, the ones down here, probably more grade 4 or 5 theory type thing. But it's worth hearing about them now because you can see the relationship between 6/8, 6/4 and 6/16, then 9/8, 9/4, 9/16, 12/8, 12/4, 12/16. Again, just a little practice on the terminology or words that you use to describe the time signatures. So if you were to give an example of a compound triple time signature, you could pick 9/8, and that would mean that there are 3 dotted crotchet beats in the bar. Triple because there are 3 beats, compound because each beat, which is your dotted crotchet, each beat subdivides into 3 separate quavers. So there you go, compound time signatures. As I said before, you'll have to be patient with it. It won't necessarily come straight away. You might have to listen through this a few times. You might find it easy to understand it when we look at a question, which we'll do down the line. Now, next thing here, we've got beaming. And so beaming refers to the way that beats are grouped in the bar, particularly the way that short note values are grouped together. So you can see this beam here joins these 3 quavers together. This beam here joins these 2 together. Now, what I've done here is I've taken the same rhythm. So you've got a dotted crotchet, 3 quavers, a crotchet and a minim. Down here you've got a dotted crotchet, 3 quavers, a crotchet, and then, well, a quaver tied to a dotted crotchet, which adds up to a minim. So they're essentially the same rhythms, but I've written them out in 2 different ways. Once in 3/4, which is a simple triple time signature, and once in 6/8, which is compound tuple. What you'll notice in simple triple is that you've got 3 beats in the bar, beat 1 there. The second group or beat is the dot of the crotchet with the quaver, that's beat 2, and then you've got 2 quavers together on beat 3. Second bar, a crotchet worth 1, and then the minim beats 2 and 3. So that's your simple triple rhythm, and your simple triple rhythm in 3/4. Now, why does the rhythm have to be written like that? Well, it's because in 3/4, if I count the rhythm and clap it, you can hear how the rhythm and the beats work together. It's going in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And what you get is you get an emphasis on the beats. So you get a particular emphasis on the 1, the 2 and the 3, with an even stronger emphasis on the first beat of the bar. Now, 6/8 has a completely different rhythmic feel to it. So 6/8 only has 2 beats in the bar, compound duple, and you can hear that by the way I count myself in and the way I clap the rhythm. It has a different feel to it. So this one goes like this. It goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Has a different rhythmic feel because the beats are placed in a different place in the bar, and it allows you to write different rhythms, different rhythm styles, and have music that has different rhythmic feels. Again, you're not going to maybe grab hold of all of the idea of this first time through. You might have to watch this through a couple of times, and then, as I said before, look at a question to see. So that's beaming. Beaming referring to the way that you group together notes to reflect the time signature. So here's a typical question. I've taken these from a grade 3 paper. So these top 2 here, what it wants you to do is it wants you to look at the bars and then work out and fill in the missing time signatures. Okay. Down here, you've got 2 examples of the music where the time signature has been filled in for you, but the bar lines are missing and you've got to fill them in. So how do you go about doing these questions? Well, this is how. The first thing you do is you start by beaming, look at the beaming and bracketing the different groups of beats together. So if I was doing this question actually handwriting, I'll just get a pencil out and I'll put a little like sort of square bracket around these notes that quite clearly belong together, these rhythms, because they're all beamed together. That's the case for the whole of this first one here, and down here I beamed this lot together, and then this lot and this lot. What do I do then? I then look at the value of what's in each beam group, add it up to make a note value, and then that might help me tell the time signature. I'll reveal the answer in the next slide. Down here, what I've done is I've put my little brackets. And what I'm looking at here is once I've got the brackets in, what I should then be able to do is look through, count up the number of beats in the bar I need, and then write in a bar line at the correct place. One little thing just to watch with these questions when they ask you to fill in missing bar lines is if the music finishes with the word except, that means that the final bar that they give you is an incomplete bar. That means that there is no bar line to draw on the end of it here. It's really mean they do that, but anyway, there we go. That's how it works. So that's how you do it. Get your pencil out, draw some little square brackets around the notes to try and group them together and to reflect the beaming, and that should help you. Obviously, you've got to remember this example down here. You've got to remember to think about what the rests are worth as well, because they form part of the value of the bar. That's very important to remember that. Okay, so the answers. So this first one here is in 3/4. What I've done here is in this first bar, I've left the brackets that I've drawn in so you can see it still. So you've got a bracket there, a bracket there, and a bracket there. So that's 3 beats in the bar. Then what you've got to do is you've got to add up the value of all of the different brackets. Well, look, what you can do is just find the simplest rhythm in the bar. Look, here's a crotchet, sat in its own, not joined to anything else. This is quite clearly a value of 1 beat in the bar here. So 3 crotchet beats in the bar. When you add this lot up, it makes a crotchet, and this lot makes a crotchet. So that's 3 crotchets in the bar. Now, down here, you've got a crotchet again starting the bar, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, this must be in 3/4 as well. But it is not. This is where the little rule about beaming helps. And if you rewind and have a look at the previous bit where I did a bit on beaming, you'd see that what happens here is this little bracket or group or beam here adds up to a dotted crotchet, not a crotchet. So this adds up to a dotted crotchet. That means that when you add those together, you can then make that lot into a dotted crotchet, and it gives you 2 dotted crotchets in a bar, and that is 6/8. 6/8. Down here, you've got 6/8, and look, you can see the same beaming here working down here. So there's another example of your dotted quaver, semiquaver, quaver, add them together, beamed all together, that makes a dotted crotchet. Here is the second bracket, which is a dotted crotchet in, 2 dotted crotchets in the bar in 6/8, then draw your bar line. And then you can see I've done the same over here and over here. Each of these bars adds up to 6/8, apart from the final one. Remember, I said that you get incomplete bars at the end of these. Here in 3/4, you've got a quaver and a quaver rest, beat 1, quaver rest, quaver, beat 2, quaver, 2 semiquavers, beat 3, 3 crotchets in the bar, draw a bar line. Just got to watch where your rests are and make sure that you count them as part of the value of the bar. Then finally, you could also describe the time signature using words. So just back to where we started here. Simple triple would be 3/4. Compound duple would be 6/8. There's one final thing that might confuse you about the rhythms in this example, and that's these number 3s over some of the note values. These are what are called triplets. This video is long enough without me explaining what a triplet is. I'll have to come to triplets and other rhythmic things like triplets in a different video. But there you go. So we've covered in quite a lot of detail there. Simple time signatures, compound time signatures, beaming, and then we've had a look at a question. Well done, everyone.